Okay, I have a 2008 Expedition. I'm going to replace the regulator and the motor. I thought it was just the motor, which is this piece. This is the new one. And when I got the panel off, I can see that this part of this regulator has come unwound. Right here is where the motor comes in. I'd actually taken this part off, or it was connected here. And then I remembered that you have to get this whole regulator piece. So that's what I got in here. And I might have to unattach the window. Okay. Here it is. Let's see. I think it goes this way. But yeah, that goes there. But I have to get the old one out, and like the speaker, I have to take it out. But before we look at that, I'll show you what the door panel looked like when I was taking it off. Here's the door panel. Look at this real quick. It has these little hooks here. So there's there's 7 hooks, and they hook into the door. And then there's also some screws. And I think there's 2 at the bottom. I guess there's nothing on that side. And then this top piece, this is what really, that's the last piece that it just clips in here. So like you can kind of pull the door out or the panel off, and this piece will get stuck. So you just have to kind of pull it off. But when I go to reassemble it, I'll kind of go over that a little bit. So once you get this off, the door, this is what your door panel will look like. It has this insulation on it, and it's glued, but you can just kind of peel it off, and it'll, this glue is so old, you know, you're talking, the truck was made in 2008. So anyway, let's see here. So I'm gonna have to do some looking, but somewhere I'll have to kind of look at the new one and everything. But this glass is just kind of bolted in, so I'll have to loosen that off. I'll have to take this speaker out, and then there's some bolts on this, so all that'll come out. So that's kind of the tricky part. A couple of years ago I did that one, and I didn't really get to show this part, but it did the same thing. This was all unraveled. So I think that's probably, this part's probably what wears your motor out. My unexpert opinion. Probably a little hard to see, but when the speaker came off, it had 2 plugs. So, sorry. It had 2 plugs, but all this wiring will have to be undone, and then it'll go onto the new piece. This piece here comes off and you put it on the new one. So there's 2 Torx bits there. This is like where the door handle was, the armrest. Okay, after some wrestling, I finally got the new one in. There's 2 places here and over here. Those bolts you just loosen and they go in through this big hole, and then they slide down, and that kind of lines everything up for you, and then you can get the other ones in. Right now I got the window taped all the way up, and I'm gonna have to lower it under the channel, but right now the channel is way down there, so I'm gonna have to see how I can get that tightened. But I'm just putting everything back together. This is a little tricky. But this piece right on top here, you just get a screwdriver, and then it'll let that pin go right there, and it kind of folds out, and you got to take that, you pull that out, and then of course this goes back in this clip there. But getting it back together, not really showing everything. Here's something of note. Where these screws go back in, there's yellow on the new piece. So you know, so there's no doubt to where the screws, where these bolts go. They'll be yellow. So right now I'm putting them in there, just leaving them a little loose. Then I'm gonna see about getting the window attached. Whatever this piece is, it's a little relay or something. You have to get it off the old part and transfer it over with these 2 screws. Okay, I was able to basically, since I couldn't get the window tight, I hooked this up on the controls on the door panel, and then I was able to turn the key and roll up the window. So I was able to roll it all the way up, and then I got it up to these slots, and I tightened it down. And I don't think you'd want to over tighten that because it is glass, so just kind of snug. But I'm kind of getting everything back together. I'm gonna put the panel on, the cover that goes over this. And actually they had gave me the wrong motor. They gave me the motor for the other side, but I tested this old one and it actually worked, so it's still working. Okay, got the insulation piece. I would think this is just noise reduction, but it kind of covers some of the wires. And then you have 5 that you still need to plug in. This one is a speaker that goes up here. It's the speaker right there. So I'm going to plug it in and give it a test. But I didn't, it kind of sticks by itself, so I didn't put any extra adhesive on it. So it had enough sticky left. If anything, you'd want some at the top here. Pro tip, this piece comes off. There's a screw right there, screw hole. But it actually comes off, so it makes, when you put it back together, you don't have to fight this handle. Whew, got it done right before dark. That is kind of slow, but really all the windows are about that speed. Let's see. It's like these windows hardly ever get rolled down.